Friday 14th. We didn't really have any news. I don't think so. We just had PMI. But I was basically bearish for the day for SPYX, just because we were coming into this big daily imbalance right here. Boom. Big daily fair value gap. We were also still wicking out of this 4-hour fair value gap here. Boom. Still wicking out of this area, which was giving me bearish confirmation. We were also still wicking at, we wicked out of this 4-hour order block right here. So that was also bearish for me. And yeah, I think that was basically all the compliments for me. Wicking out of this area. And PMI was bullish. So usually when news is bullish, we will get a retracement back. And we were also wicking out of this 1-hour fair value gap, even though it did end up breaking. I held this trade pretty much for 2 days. It feels like it wasn't really 2 days. It was probably like 8 hours. But yeah, I don't remember my entry too well, but I know it was on the 1 minute. Let's see if I can find it. It was probably after news, so somewhere around this area. Yeah, I don't really remember. It might have been, it was actually here. So boom, we wicked out of this area. We also wicked out of this fair value gap. And I basically entered pretty big size here. And I also entered here at this order block touch again. And kind of at this like point of control of this 4-hour fair value gap or the order block. So I entered more here. So my average position was like somewhere around here if I remember correctly. Like this was like break even since I entered more up here. Just because I don't know, I really thought it would play out, and of course it did. But yeah, oof. It came and it swept this liquidity, but I didn't want to take profits here. I thought the risk to reward was just not that good. I was expecting price to come lower until this 4-hour fair value gap. Right here. So I had my first CP at this 4-hour fair value gap, the top of it, and my second TP just right there. It was almost a 2-to-1. I had my stops a lot lower at this fair value gap, but I thought it was just too greedy, just because we were up like 3% here, and down here probably would have been like 6. But it probably would have hit, but it was just, to me, it was just too greedy, so I just didn't take it. I like this a lot better than this, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was basically the trade. It was a pretty simple trade, I feel like. It did take a while, but yeah, played out how I wanted it to. And peace out. Yo boys, this is the trade I took today, literally like an hour ago. I kinda wanna talk about something beforehand. So basically I took this trade and then I just closed it just because I didn't like this candle. But literally right when I closed this, I went on to SPY, tried to look for another play, and it was pretty much a revenge trade. And just remember not to do that ever again. It's pretty stupid. I've done it before and it's played out, but it's not ideal, if that makes sense. So just if you lose a trade, just hop off the charts for a little bit. I mean, I didn't really lose that much just because we had a big win on Friday. I pretty much break even, but that's still just, I don't know. It does suck a little bit, you know. But anyway, I'll go through both trade recaps, both of my trades. So basically, for me, overall structure was still bearish just because we were wicking out of the 50% level of this. Right here we were wicking out of it, but we were also still wicking out of this area, this 50%, which was just bearish for me, just because I really thought we were going to go lower. We were also wicking out of this 4 hour fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, which was also giving me bearish confirmation, and we closed below this 4 hour fair value gap, and we really haven't created any support because we haven't reached this 4 hour fair value gap, which was also bearish confirmation for me. And I basically just entered off of a 1 minute fair value gap, or 1 minute break, I think it was. No, 1 minute fair value gap, yeah. So we basically had this inverse fair value gap created, and I basically just entered right here. Boom, at this candle right here. Oh no, I actually entered. This was a bit of a different entry, but I thought it was a good entry for me. So we basically had this big dump of a candle, and we created this little inverse fair value gap, and I was just looking for a touch into this inverse fair value gap. So we got a touch, and I basically just entered top of this candle, like right here. And yeah, that was basically my entry right there. And I was expecting price to at least come into this little liquidity zone right here, like these little, this one and this one. I was expecting price to come into here, but it kind of pushed down, and yeah, this candle was just super big for me. I didn't like it, and it looks like it will continue downwards, which if it does, that's another thing I need to keep in mind is like being, and this has happened to me before, and I've shied away from it, but I'm starting to do it again. And it's like, if you have a stop loss in place, like leave the stop loss. Like, don't exit a trade early or exit a trade too late. Like, if stop loss is there, you know, place stop loss there and leave it there until you know you want to move stops to break even. Because this honestly, it looks bullish, but at the same time it does look bearish. I don't know if that makes sense, just because we're still wicking out of this area. We swept this liquidity again, and we're also coming close into this consolidation range. We didn't hit point of control, but we're honestly close to this like big consolidation range. We've kind of wicking out of this area, and price could go lower, and if it does, I mean, bro, it looks so good. It does suck. I mean, what can you really do? I mean, you exited the trade. I mean, that's my fault. I should have just held it, but we learn and we live, like I say all the time. I mean, we're still in the learning stage. We're still not a profitable trader. We will get there one day. But yeah, just 2 things I learned today. I might start doing that. Things I've learned today. I've learned not to revenge trade. I haven't done it in a long time, and I did it again. I broke my rule. If you leave a stop, if you have a trade in place, leave a stop loss, leave the take profits, don't exit early. And yeah, I'll go over the trade for SpyX. It was pretty stupid trade, I feel like. Basically, I thought overall structure was bullish just because we were wicking out of this 4 hour for value, this 4 hour area, just like this big area right here, bro. This big area right here, which was honestly bearish for me. Lower time frame, again, just big area right here. Price was just wicking out of it. And yeah, price was wicking out of this area. We also had like this little 15-minute liquidity zone right here. Boom. This area right here, price kind of tapped into this area and then pushed lower, which was honestly bearish for me. And we also had this little fair value gap the price was wicking out of, and that's the reason I did close this trade. I closed it like at the closure of this candle just because it broke this. And we also had a 1 minute fair value gap the price was wicking out of as well. Boom, right here. Again, price closed, and I closed it right there. But yeah, I was expecting at least this liquidity, and then the 50% level did not get hit. Does suck. But yeah, I mean, that was basically the 2 trades. I only lost like from the trade from Friday. I mean, we're still up like 0.5%. But yeah, this is a new challenge. I don't know if I said that. This is with funding pips, and yeah, I mean up 2%. I think the target is 12. I mean, bro, I was like thinking about it. If we hit, because if our risk is 150, and we target a 2-to-1. I mean, basically what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 4 trades, and we're literally chilling. I mean, honestly, if we can hit 4 good trades, and maybe if we can hit 6 good trades and like 2 L's, we're still chilling. And the challenge is passed, and I need to like think about it that way. Just look for good A+ setups. I know I'm a profitable trader. Like I'm literally, like, I'm always like in decent profit. I just like, I can't get to that 12% mark, and that's the reason I lost the other challenge. Because I was just like so stressed because I was on that challenge for so long. I was like, bro, I need to pass it, and I over leveraged, and I lost it on the trade, and that's something I do need to keep in mind. That's why I'm risking point. I might start risking even 2%, and then my 1% would be my 2-to-1 would be $400. 4, 6, no 4, 8, 12. That's only 3 winning trades, and I might risk 2% if I find a good trade. That's because we'll be back at break even anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. I feel like I was low-key yapping a little bit. I will post this trade with a trade from Friday. But yeah, that's all, and I'll see you later, man. Hopefully do good in trading. Peace out.